welcome back to our channel. We're Dos Cavazos, and this is My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 23.
So the last episode ended off with Shigaraki knocking down Re-Destro's tower, and it looks like we're about to have an epic battle.
It feels like Shigaraki is definitely changing as a leader, and I'm excited to see like how he develops through this, because, and also like just to see all of them are kind of advancing in their quirks a little bit, like, you know, leveling up. And I feel like a lot of that really does have to do with the amount that they've been fighting Gigantomachia and just practicing, and they're just, I mean, they're evolving. I guess it's like in true to the theme of like they're liberating their quirks, but it's not necessarily in the way that the Liberation Army wants them to. I mean, they kind of do, but you know, not for the purpose that they want. So that's obviously why they're trying to get rid of them.
Yeah, and speaking of Gigantomachia, he's probably going to make his appearance here pretty soon, I'd imagine. I feel like he's going to throw a monkey wrench into the Liberation Army's plan. But I'm also just really curious to see, like, you know, after this battle, like, what happens next? Does Shigaraki and the League of Villains take over the Liberation Army? I keep thinking that's what's going to end up happening, but I don't know why the Liberation Army would like follow them necessarily, you know, if he were able to beat Re-Destro. But I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be the first time that that's something like that happened, because we saw, like, you know, when Dabi and Toga joined them, it was after the whole like Hero Killer Stain thing. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe he can pull that off twice, I'm not sure. Alright, well, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out our Patreon if you want to watch our full-length reactions.
We also do have a second channel called Dos Cavazos IRL, where we do vlogs and other things like that, and if you want to check that out, the link's down below.
Alright, let's jump into this episode.
Gotta get a copy of you before it's too late. I'll make a bunch of you, and then we can do a blood transfusion.
Oh.
I never even thought about something like that.
What a smart way to do that.
Your cute face is all messed up. Can it be fixed? I'm sure Dabi knows a good plastic surgeon.
I don't know if I trust Dabi's plastic surgeon.
Left him with some scars.
Yeah. I feel like they botched that one. I didn't realize that, you know, Toga was like that seriously injured. Like, I thought she was just going to be able to bounce back pretty quick. I
didn't think that Twice could do stuff like that, but I never thought, like, to do that, like, you know.
Like, when I make a clone, I could do take the clone's blood.
I'm still curious if Twice, like, the clones are on the same, like, brain wavelength as the original, if that makes sense. Like, do they remember the, like, what the clone saw? Like, if your clone, like, went to the other room, would you know what your clone saw?
I feel like it's whatever you saw up to that point, you know? Like, I don't know if it's, like
I don't think that they, like... I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of weird, like, connection. You know what I mean, though? Like, if you made a clone of, like, Shigaraki, would the real Shigaraki remember the clone's memories? I don't think so.
No. I don't think so.
I think they're, like, their own person.
You must have been one of
Time
those
to level up.
shuttles, yes? Relentlessly bullied? I don't see you as a person who can bring much value to society.
Aww, you leave our lizard person alone.
Like I said, I don't see you bringing much value to anyone.
I know that. Better than anybody.
Oh, no.
Except...
Oh, Stain.
I saw him. He changed me. And when Shigaraki spoke, I thought, I want to see the future this guy envisions. That's why I'm devoted to him. Got a problem with that? Huh? Shigaraki, keep fighting. I'll take on as much as I can.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, no,
I feel like he's gonna die.
I knew Shigaraki would go big.
Alright.
Oh my gosh, he's massive.
Re-Destro who went big.
I didn't get a chance to ask you earlier. What burden will you take on? What world will you create?
Where's Gigantomachia? He's gonna have to show up.
You're just a hollow man. One who indulges in destruction without creating anything to justify it.
Hana, my big sister. Whenever I cried, she'd pull my hand as I followed behind her.
Aimless child.
So he, like, blocked all this out?
Yeah. He said it, All For One said his grandma's hands too, so that's Nana's hands.
Unless it's a different grandma.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit!
He did it with two, right? Or was it all gone? Were they all wrapped, or was that just...
Thought it wouldn't activate without all 5 fingers.
Okay, yeah,
Is
so
the
it was...
information I received incorrect?
Oh my gosh. He's scratching.
Killing me.
It's like a stress.
This young man is in the midst of an awakening.
Okay, so what's he gonna be able to do?
80% liberation.
Liberation.
Oh, his hands all jacked up.
Oh my gosh, what is that ball of death?
I remember everything.
What else?
What?
You have to be on your guard. He's heading your way.
There. Get the monkey up.
He's a walking mountain.
Nah. He's massive. Titan.
I can't believe it.
Oh,
Burn
his
extracts
foot.
stress and turns it into something tangible, then blasts it over a wide area.
Oh, okay.
It's the apex of the meta ability I've been refining since childhood.
And it didn't.
It's not
Dude,
something
take him
that can
out.
simply dodge.
Did he touch him again? Oh,
Oh!
The only thing I want is to destroy.
A shapeless world has no future.
I don't care about the future.
Playing hero again.
Hero, that's enough! You're hurting him!
If he doesn't like it, he should obey me.
There is a rule at my house. Only one put in place by my father. No talking about heroes.
What?
shit. I wonder if it's because his mom is
It's
Nana.
Nana.
5 years old and no quirk yet. He needs to learn his place in this society or it will break him. Aspiring to be a hero will cause suffering for him and his family.
So he was a late bloomer.
Oh dear, stop scratching.
I'm itchy.
One day we'll figure out what you're allergic to. I know, it's hard.
It was
gonna kill his mom.
stress.
I'm at home.
Your father doesn't hate you. He just knows how hard it is to be a hero.
Because of his mom.
Kids are surprisingly sneaky and simple.
This lady is our grandma.
Oh, they
She's
didn't.
a hero.
So they didn't know.
Yeah.
But why are you showing this to me?
Because Dad gets mad when you play pretend. But I'm with you. I'll be cheering you on as your biggest fan, Tenko. Let's become
Aw.
heroes together.
My other grandma was a hero.
Oh, he reminded me of Deku when he was
There's
crying
actually
there.
one in our family.
Corey.
Know what, Mon? I feel great right now.
So did she die before this? Oh, it's activating.
Tenko! You went into my study?
Oh no.
Who said that? That he had a secret to show me.
She blamed it on him.
Welled up from deep inside.
Is this what's gonna happen right now? Is he gonna accidentally kill his whole family?
She abandoned her family
Oh.
when she left.
Help me. Don't just watch.
Oh, poor thing.
In order to save strangers they don't even know, heroes hurt those who love them.
Oh,
my
my
gosh.
gosh. All for finding a picture.
I'm sorry I have to leave suddenly, but your mom has to go fight a really bad man right now.
Oh gosh. All for one.
I'd never forgive myself if
So
this
he
bad
was-
man did something mean to you. That's why we can't be together anymore, Kotaro.
So he like took it out on him because he was upset about her.
I love you, my son. I hope your life is full of laughter and that you'll be happy. I'll be watching over you. Promise. Even if it's from above.
Oh my gosh.
Would have been better if you'd never loved me.
Oh wow.
I went too far. How are they?
We're through with your rules. Don't you dare raise your hand to him. Our family deserves to be happy.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
That's it.
Poor thing.
I can't take this anymore, Mon. It's too much.
Is he accidentally gonna kill a dog?
My whole
Ah! Ah!
No.
Oh my gosh.
what just
Oh my
gosh.
Tenko? I was looking for you. What's wrong?
Look more.
I can't talk. So itchy.
Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Oh my gosh.
He didn't know.
Protect me next time.
Nobody was helping him and
Crumbled. I thought a villain was after us.
oh, he
It
didn't
was
know.
an attack.
Oh my gosh, he didn't know it was him. But he can't do it to himself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe not. I might have already understood what was going on by then.
Oh no. Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't make excuses for my father. The resentment piled up.
I hate everyone.
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
He did it then, where it spread.
But he like suppressed it. Oh, she was still going to him. Oh. As she was...
Oh my gosh. And then the father.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, Daddy!
Oh my gosh.
This is freaking dark.
I know when I touched my father, I intended to kill.
Oh my gosh.
An absurd sense of pleasure shot through my entire body. This was what I'd always wanted.
Oh my gosh.
And just like that, I didn't itch anymore.
That was so fucking dark. That's the darkest I've ever seen My Hero get. Like, that was pretty fucking intense.
Gosh.
Damn. So it wasn't All for One who did it. Like, that was my suspicion that maybe, like, you know, that he had orchestrated it, and that's just like what he told him, and maybe he like suppressed it. No, he did suppress it, but
suppressed it probably because of like,
I mean, trauma. Like, yeah.
But then also he kind of liked it at the same time. But I feel like that had a lot to do with just
how
like
his upbringing.
Yeah, that it kind of created that like nature versus nurture. You know, like if he would have just been like coached through the quirk, or like, okay, these are like, okay, we're just gonna keep monitoring you. You might, you know, instead of like, no, you can't be a hero, blah blah blah. You know, because like. There's other kids that have kind of dangerous quirks that have been like, you know, differently brought up. So
I mean, Eri.
Yeah.
I mean, Eri. Well, that's a bad example because. But I was just like saying dangerous quirks, you know.
Right.
But obviously, like, she didn't become like a villain. She was just being used.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just sad. And they would show a freaking dog get killed first.
I know, and then the puddle of blood, I thought was the worst.
And then the sister, and then they showed it, like, oh my gosh, like for everybody, they showed like pieces of body. I can't even, ugh.
That was the most intense My Hero episode we've ever seen. It was the most brutal. It was also one of the most sad. Like, that was just tragic to watch. And you said it there in the, like when we were watching the outro, but it's really sad that, you know, that quirk manifested at that time, but also because of the environment he was raised in, it was just constant like tormenting him, almost like you can't be a hero, you can't be a hero,
yeah,
you
and then
can't
like
be a
I
hero.
hit you, and then like, you know, yeah, like no one was there for him, and then the sister who he thought was there for him,
but she was a kid
she
too,
was a kid, so it's not like she was doing, she just didn't want to get in trouble, but like, you know, when you're on the other end of it, you don't see things that way, like especially when he was like the younger kid, and it's just really sad because it's like, if he would have had his grandma, like Nana, she probably would have been there to help him through the quirk and like actually been there, but obviously she had to deal with All for One, and I'm assuming she had died before this even happened.
Yeah, I want to get more into that. Like, you never really got like the full details about how Nana died, so I really, I imagine it was fighting All for One at some point in time, and it was probably when she sent that, or gave that letter to her son, Shigaraki's dad, and then she took off. But I want to get more into that, but I feel like, you know, that could be another way too, because I guessed several episodes ago that, you know, when we found out that it was, you know, his family's hands, that it was actually All for One that possibly killed like his family, and then just kind of like told them like, you did it, but obviously I was wrong. But I feel like, you know, having Nana away from the family too kind of planted that seed of resentment in the son, and then eventually made its way all the way down to Shigaraki.
Like he was mad at his mom, but took it out on his family, especially his son. And it just, it was a really horrible situation, and he was just raised in a really horrible environment that caused, not that it caused this because it was his quirk that manifested, and then, but like I said, it's like the nature versus nurture thing. Like if he would have been brought up in a different environment, he probably wouldn't have had done this, because he would have had the proper like avenues to learn how to use his quirk and, you know, stuff like that. And it's just really sad. Like, that was like a really intense episode.
Getting more into the present time, Shigaraki is freaking fighting on another level than when we've seen Shigaraki fight before, which is interesting that when we kind of revert back to, like, you know, when his quirk manifested, he was almost kind of doing some of the stuff that he's doing now, but he hadn't done up until the point that we've seen him. But, you know, that was like, you know, the trauma and everything else that was going on there, where it was kind of like spreading, like he touched the ground and he killed like his mom and his grandparents. So he's doing a lot of stuff like that. He's putting up a pretty decent fight against Re-Destro, but Gigantomachia is about to show up too. I feel like that's really gonna help him, and I feel like, you know, they're gonna win. I feel like they're gonna beat Re-Destro, and I feel like that's how they're gonna take over the Liberation Army, but that's just my opinion.
Also, I'm curious, because I know that, like, All For One, you know, found him and kind of took him in. I'm curious how that went, like, you know, more in detail after that, like, because obviously he found solace in All For One, who, like, kind of understood him, I guess, but then again, kind of turned him more villainous than anything. And he already had, like, that seed of, like destruction, and, like, that's how he stopped itching and, like, stopped his stress, you know. So I'm just kind of curious, like, how he brought him up in a different way, and, like, how that changed him as well.
I feel like I feel like he was monitoring, like, this family, because it's just convenient. Yes, very convenient timing that he just happens to show up after, like, the family.
And it was Nana's family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I mean, it's just All For One beyond just, like, you know, possibly killing Nana. Like, there was something I feel like he had planned to have someone in the family, maybe it was just Shigaraki, like, you know, eventually be used for him. I have a feeling like it wasn't just very convenient. Like, okay, like Nana's grandson just killed like his whole family. Now I'm gonna take him under my wing and make him my, like, apprentice.
Do you think he gave him a quirk? Because, you know, he, like, gives
that would be interesting, but also, like, how and when that would have happened.
Yeah, I don't know, because doesn't he have to, like, be there physically to give it the...
Well, maybe he had an interaction with him at some point in time, and he gave him that fucking, like,
that's my
crazy ass quirk.
Maybe he gave him, like, a quirk to, you know,
knowing that, like,
family.
knowing that there was already resentment by Nana's son to Nana, and kind of probably, if he was monitoring the family, knowing that whole dynamic there, and then just so happened to be like, ooh, I bestowed this, like, decay on you.
I mean, that's my theory, but, you know, maybe it was
I mean, that would be pretty freaking wild, and, like, I think that'd be, like, a really interesting way to kind of tie it into as to how All For One was also involved, because it just feels like he has to have more involvement than just walking up on Nana's family, like, years later.
Alright, well, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you can stay notified for all of our future videos.
Also, head over to our Patreon if you want to watch our full-length reactions. We upload them over there. The link's down in the description below.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.